Hello, I'm Tony Guida. This is My New York. A very special guest traveled nearly 6,000 miles to be here today.
Stan Fischler.
The one, the only hockey maven, Stan Fischler, celebrated by the Islanders on his 90th birthday this year with an official team sweater. Stan is also a hockey historian and prolific author. His latest book, Tales of Brooklyn, humorous and poignant stories of growing up in Depression-era Brooklyn. The Maven is here. Next. Stan Fischler, I am so delighted to have you here today. It's great to see you.
As my father would say, I'm tickled pink. I never knew what that meant, but you get the point.
I get the point. Belated and very heartfelt happy birthday, L'chaim.
Thank you.
I just want to clear up a debate about this, which the Islanders gave you. And this is a copy. I have props today. I called it a sweater in the introduction, but other people call this jersey, the official one that they gave you. What is it? Is it a jersey? Is it a sweater?
No, it's a sweater. And it always was a sweater, as we knew sweaters way back when. And jersey is an adaptation that I don't particularly like. It's like talking about a goalie. They call him a goaltender. I call him a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
It's from the song. You call it madness, I call it love.
Well, okay. I'm glad you straightened that out, and I'm glad I used the term sweater. The one they gave you is autographed by the whole team, I think?
That's right.
That's great.
That's right. It is great.
How does that team look to you this year, or have you had enough chance to watch them play yet?
It's very early. The thing about seasons when it comes to sports, people get very excited about the first week or two, and they forget it's true in baseball, it's true in hockey. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
You get deceived by the first few days, first few weeks. They say in hockey, you really know what's going to happen around New Year's Day.
Well, come back on New Year's Day and we'll talk about it.
I plan to.
Okay.
Thank you.
As I said in the introduction, you came almost 6,000 miles to be here from Israel.
That's right.
Where you're retired and not fully retired because you're still doing a lot of writing, which we'll talk about. But I saw a delightful phrase you used about where you live. You called it the Jewish Montana.
Well, I live in the North Golan Heights. It's 3,000 feet up. The weather there is distinctly different from the rest of the country. In fact, to get where I live from the town below, the highway goes something, it's almost like the Alps. And the air is very pure. In Montana, you got the big sky. We have the big sky also. And I would say starting in April, right through about the beginning of October, every day is sunshine, sky's blue.
Oh, is there a room?
We got a lot, I have to tell you, I live on a kibbutz, and we're surrounded by cattle. We have a lot of cattle there.
Oh.
And guys are still riding on horses, believe it or not.
It's the Wild West.
Well, that's the wild Middle East.
It's the wild Middle East, of course. I was fudging, of course, saying that Stan came here all that way just for us. It's actually, he's here for another special honor coming from the Islanders.
Well, to my astonishment, in the new arena, the UBS Arena in Elmont, they've decided to name the press area, the press box, the press room, the whole schmear, the Stan Fischler press area.
Fabulous.
The press level now features a special tribute area to Stan, which includes a beautiful cabinet with memorabilia from his illustrious career and every book he has authored. Isles Nation, please join us in congratulating and welcoming the hockey maven, Stan Fischler.
1945, I was bar mitzvahed at Temple Shara Zedek in Brooklyn, and the first words were, "This is the most important day of my life." So 77 years later, this is the most important day of my life. I think I should stop here.
You know, it strikes me that you're an immortal in hockey already. You're in the Hockey Hall of Fame, the United States Hockey Hall of Fame. You were the recipient of the Lester Patrick Trophy, which you'll have to explain that. What is the Lester Patrick Trophy?
Well, Lester Patrick was the patriarch of the New York Rangers. He was the original coach, original manager, and he led the Rangers right through World War II. He was a legend, a great player, a great manager. He won 3 Stanley Cups, and he's probably one of the top 3 most famous hockey figures, both as a player, coach, and manager. And the trophy is for service to hockey in the United States. So I am a serviceman in terms of serving hockey. And I've done more than 90 hockey books, and I've done...
Wait. How many?
90, and 90.
Hockey books.
Yeah.
Of course, the Hockey Encyclopedia.
Yes, with my wife. My wife, Shirley, was a tremendous help. I often thought that when I found out about the honor, it really should have been the Stan and Shirley press area, whatever, because we worked together. My wife and I worked together on many, many projects, and she was a better writer than me. And
we're going to talk more about her in a minute because of the beginning of your book. On this notion of your immortality. It's more than a notion, it's a reality. We were talking about a couple of things. You've been covering the NHL, I think, for 65 years, 45 of them roughly with the MSG networks. You're just, you were the bureau chief of the Toronto Star, the New York bureau chief of the Toronto Star for 11 years.
Yeah.
So there's nothing about hockey and it looks like Canada that you don't know.
Well, the fact of the matter is, when I started newspapering, I was with Hearst's New York Journal American. I started in '55. And that was the top afternoon paper. We had morning papers, afternoon papers. And I was very fortunate. I was hired for sports, but if you had the initiative, motivation, I wound up doing theater, I wound up doing a ski column, and I wound up covering City Hall, and I was, like yourself, a member of the Inner Circle. I was covering the Board of Estimate during the time that the Verrazano-Narrows Bridge, big furor was going on. So I was very lucky. I was able to do just about anything. I mean, how many guys can be doing all that and still write a ski column? I wrote a skating column. So it was a preparation for when and Shirley and I both ran the bureau. We used to do everything.
Sure.
And a whole bunch. I did a lot of politics. I did a big piece on John Lindsay, a whole bunch. I mean, I was looking through the scrapbook the other day. I said, I was doing this? You know, I remember half of the stuff I did. But I did cover the Harlem riots, and I covered the Newark, New Jersey riots, and that was scary. That was about the scariest thing I ever did as a newspaperman.
This honor that you talked about a minute ago, the naming the press area, the press deck, with however it's called, for you. What is that? Tell me about that. How do you feel? I mean, you've had so many honors in your life. Now this.
Well, the best I could tell you simply is Cole Porter wrote a tune called My Shining Hour. This will be my shining hour. So this is my shining hour. This is the kappa on my career. I started out as a writer. I worked on an old Underwood. I pounded out. I used to be a drummer, so it was like playing the drums. And frankly, when the opportunity came to go from print to electronic, I rebelled. I didn't want to do it. So, I mean, all of this is now blending together in this naming of the press room for, it's all the stuff that I did as a journalist.
Well, I think it's marvelous. I'm so glad the Islanders are doing it. And just for you folks out there who may not understand the importance or the meaning, if you're a Mets fan, the television booth at Citi Field has been named for Ralph Kiner, the Hall of Famer. And the radio booth has been named for Bob Murphy. And it's a huge honor. So it's wonderful that they're conferring this on you.
It's for me, it's unbelievable because when I was a kid, my father was taking me to games, and I started going to the Old Garden in 1939 when I was 7, and I started to go alone a couple of years later. Sunday afternoons they had the Rover games, a Ranger farm team, and they had a program. You got a program every game. Beautiful program. They have a lineup, and there was a lot of white space around the lineup. And nobody said I had to do anything with it, but instinctively, after every game, and I have a whole bunch of them in my scrapbook, I would write a story in ink, with my pen. So that's how I started. I was writing about it because this was the fun thing for me.
Yeah.
And writing, what am I? I'm 90 years old now, and I'm still trying to find my style. I actually am changing. I find that I'm changing. Yeah, because I was just reading this book by Harold Parrott. He used to work for the Dodgers. He wrote for the old Brooklyn Eagle. Did this book, The Lords of Baseball, about 20-odd years ago. But this guy had style. My buddy Ron Ross, who wrote the book about Bummy Davis and Murder, Inc., this guy had style. I read that book 6 times, first time for fun, and the second time to see how he was able to take a gory story about Murder, Inc. and make it funny. How can you make this funny? And this guy did it. So whenever I read something that's so significant to me by a wordsmith, I sort of get a little bit, it goes into my head, and so what I'm telling you right now is I'm writing different these days than I did a year ago, 2 years ago, and I also, when you're 90 years old, you do what the hell you want when you're writing, right? within limits.
Yeah.
So I'm having fun with, it's like the new Fischler of 2022, something like that.
Well, I'm glad you're reinventing yourself. That's incredible.
Well, my wife told me when I was about 80 or 80, when I had 80th birthday, she said, Stan, everything from now on is gravy. So I'm throwing a little bit steak on it, a little bit potatoes.
A little
sauce. I love it's nice gravy.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Kosher.
And folks can read it, we might as well, this might be the time to tell folks where they could read you, the columns that you write. And
Well, I write for the Hockey News. I'm in the Hockey News 3 times a week. I write for the Islanders website once a week. It's on weekends, called Maven's Memories. And I do a piece for the NHL.com, which is historic. I love doing the historic stuff. And now I'm doing stuff for the Devils. But the real kick to me was doing Tales of Brooklyn, because it happened totally by accident.
Yes, that's what I want to ask you about. This is the book. You saw it in the introduction. But I want to call your attention to the picture on the cover. This is so delightful, this picture. And this is, what, your first time on skates?
Yeah, the double runners. And we had a thaw, and then it froze over, and the entire sidewalk and street, that's Vernon Avenue, where I grew up, corner Marcy, was all ice. And my mom got me a pair of those double runners, and she said, skate.
And did you?
I did. I didn't even flop. It was wonderful. I think I should have stayed on double runners.
You were what, 4 in this picture?
Yeah, that was 1936.
So cute.
Great year, 1936.
Yes.
For me.
Yeah. That's so cute. How does a guy in Brooklyn, you got skates on and you're double runners and you're skating. How does a Brooklyn kid in the 30s or at any time, back then, become a hockey enthusiast, so passionate about hockey?
Accidents will happen, okay? My father was supposed to take me to see Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Every single kid who wanted to breathe and live and had to go see Snow White. So my father says, Stanley, I'm going to take you to see Snow White. We're going to go to the Globe Theater. It's Sunday morning. We get on the subway, and a beautiful day. When we get on the subway, we get to 50th Street and 8th Avenue. There's a pouring rain. And my father didn't have an umbrella, and the Globe Theater was about 6 blocks away, and he saw we were right by the old garden, 8th Avenue, 50th Street.
Yeah.
He says, Stanley, well, we're not going to go see Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I started crying. Yeah, my father never gave in to me, so he yanked me by the arm and he took me into the garden and we went to see a hockey game. So I was so furious with him. I see my father is rooting for the Rovers, the New York team. I said, the heck with this, and I'm rooting for Washington. And my guys won the game. One of the guys on Washington was a blonde, so I named him my favorite cowboy, the Lone Ranger. And my father lost, I won. My guy scored a hat trick. And he took me to see Snow White the following Saturday. After we got home, I said, Dad, take me to another hockey game, and I never stopped going.
Wow.
Thanks to Snow White.
Accidents will happen. That's
right.
terrific. This may be your 100th book. You talked about 90 books about hockey, and you've written about the subway system. Stan is an historian of the New York City subways, and we'll talk about that later too. I'm wondering, there's a story in here about how this book came about, the catalyst for you to write this book.
I told you, accidents will happen.
Again?
So I'm doing the Devils TV for many years, and my sidekick was Glenn Chico Resch, who was a goalie with the Islanders, and now he's working with me, and I'm working with him. And he was fascinated with Brooklyn. And he kept asking, because we go on road trips together, he had a lot of time to schmooze. And
this is Chico Resch, the great goalkeeper.
That's right, right. So there was one story that I kept telling him. It was called the ice cream story. With my Aunt Hattie we all loved ice cream, but my Aunt Hattie was like the ice cream queen. She lived in Albany, and she used to come visit us. And the story was about, we had this tremendous blizzard in December '47, and it was all about how everything in New York stopped, everything in Brooklyn stopped, and we ran out of ice cream. And she gave me a $5 bill, and she says, go find ice cream, Stanley. So I walk out, and I'm walking in this blizzard. Everything is closed in Brooklyn, and I'm thinking I'm going to fail her, and finally, after about an hour, way down on Broadway, in Brooklyn, Broadway and Flushing, there was one little candy store open. I get this ice cream. I'm so happy, and now I'm schlepping home. I nearly plots because it was snow. It's like the third day of blizzard.
How old are you when you're navigating this blizzard?
I must have been about, so it was 19, I was 15. I was 15 years old, and I get home. I'm a wreck now, you see, and the brown paper bag go away, and I walk into the kitchen, and I put the ice cream down, and I go back to take off my galoshes, and all of a sudden I hear this terrible sound. I couldn't even, it was crazy. It was like elephants blowing or whatever. And I walk into the kitchen, there's my Aunt Hattie. And she looks at me. I had succeeded, and I brought the ice cream home in the blizzard, and she says to me, you mean you got Reed's? She was a connoisseur of ice cream. There was Breyers, there was Hortons, there was Sealtest, and in her mind, Reed's was like the Thunderbird, cheap wine, of ice cream. To do it in the garbage can. She threw it in the garbage can.
Come on.
So what's my point? So I told this story to Chico once, and every month he would say, tell me that ice cream story again. Tell me that So now, about 2 years ago, I think this was just before the pandemic, Chico sends me an email, because I'm in Israel, and he says, my wife, Diane, would like you to write the ice cream story for her. So I wrote it down. I wrote the thing down. I get a note back. Hey, she loved it. How about doing another one? So I did another one, and now I'm getting into it. From finally, I got to my 5th one, and my literary agent said, "You do 20, we'll have a book," and that's how it happened.
What a story. That's terrific.
Ice cream.
Yeah.
And she was right. She was a
tales-
connoisseur.
Yes.
My
Gotta have
father-
Briars.
Huh?
You gotta have Briars.
Briars was the best,
At that time, sure.
especially in bulk.
Especially in book. I saw you at some video of you at a book party for this book, and you were demonstrating the proper way to make an egg cream. Now, I've been at a lot of book parties in my life. Mostly they're boring, but you know, you're around a crowd of people and you know, you're having some fun talking. But I have never been at a book party where the author makes an egg cream. Tell me about that and your expertise in that regard.
Well, the egg creams that we had was at Alan Shirley's Candy Store, which was on Nostrand Avenue and Vernon. And the egg cream, which in Brooklyn was spelled C-R-E-M-E.
Really?
Yeah, that was a Brooklyn
Little
thing.
fancy.
Yeah, Brooklyn thing. So anyhow, it includes seltzer from the seltzer thing. This is strictly candy store stuff, not what you get today. So you get the seltzer. Then you have to use a certain kind of syrup, Fox's You Bet.
Fox's You Bet.
That's right.
Since 1900, folks. I don't have any stock in the company. I'm just telling you that they've been. Fox's You Bet is chocolate syrup, bar none.
And then you have milk. And when the guy does the seltzer, you have to have a spoon in there so that the seltzer ricochets off the spoon. And it has to be, as it was, in a nickel Coca-Cola glass, you know, about this size Coca-Cola glass. You never, ever should have an egg cream in anything but glass. No plastic thing. It's out. So you got two things in a candy store. We were all very poor then. You know, this is the Depression time. You get a 2 cents plain, which was in a Coke, you know, regular Coke glass. It's just seltzer.
Right.
And then for a nickel, you can get an egg cream. And of course, it had to have about 3/4 of an inch foam to be authentic. Okay. And it has to taste good. Now, the cousin of an egg cream is a chocolate ice cream soda. Chocolate ice cream soda is simply an egg cream with a large hunk of chocolate ice cream in it, which happens to be my favorite food in the world. I want you to know that. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was the egg cream.
That's the egg cream with ice cream is like gravy on a steak.
Why is it called an egg cream? There's no egg. There's
no
cream.
reason. That's the ridiculous thing about it. First of all, there's no egg in it. Secondly, there's no cream in it. And thirdly, cream is spelled wrong.
Yeah.
So I don't know who came up with that cockamamie thing, but we never questioned it because it was too good to question.
Sure. We have stories in Tales of Brooklyn to tell you, and I wanted to get into the story that opens the book, which is a lovely tribute to Shirley Fischler, who died a few years ago and who was your partner. But because of the shortage of time in this show, I don't want to get into that because it's a story that needs love and attention, and we want all the details. So that story is going to be next week when Stan comes back. But if you got a minute and a half, can you tell the trolley car steal story, or is that too long?
No, I can tell. Very simple. My buddy Howie and I used to spend time. I had a summer place in Seagate, which is a gated community right next to Coney Island, and it was during the war. No, you couldn't get a bike. So he had one bike, and we rode it together, and he got a flat tire. And in Seagate, all the trolleys from the Surf Avenue line were stored there. And I was already a trolley car nut. We didn't have the bike anymore. I said, let's go over to the trolley. Let's see if we can open the trolley door and see maybe we can make it even go. He said, what, are you crazy? I said, no, I like trolley cars. What's the matter with you? If you never tried it, don't knock it. So I said, come with me. And we opened the door of the trolley car. And I knew it all how it worked, because when I was going for my bar mitzvah, I used to study these guys, knew how to be a motorman. And I said, okay, there's the thing that makes it go. We got to go and put it on the wire and see if we can get
I forget the name of that thing, but you got to connect
the trolley.
it.
That's the trolley thing. The round thing is called. So we went to the back, and I unhooked the thing with the rope, and I put it on the wire, and then you go, hey.
So it was, you
the
had
motor
the
was
power.
going. I said, no, now we got to go back in, and let's see if we can make it go. So we get in, and I say,
So you're about to steal this thing. You're going to you're going to drive this thing.
well, you
and
could
Howard.
ride it around Seagate because they used to have it there, but they didn't have it any. But they had
Okay.
the tracks and they had the wire. I said, this is going to be a great thing. So he said, okay, that makes it go. How are you going to make it stop? I said, well, we got this. Here's where the brake is. All we need is the brake handle. I said, it's usually on the floor, and we couldn't find it. You couldn't find it because the guy, it's portable, so the motorman took it home. He said, nah, we can't do it. I said, yeah, we can do it if you run in front of the trolley and get the people out of the way. He said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go to Bay 16 and look at the girls. And that was the end of the trip. He didn't want to get killed because I couldn't stop the trolley. What if he fell down? I would have run over my friend Howie. That's the stealing the trolley car story. Would have been great, though.
Yeah, it would have been great.
Would have been a hell of a story.
You might have a whole different career today.
Yeah, and there would be a story about some crazy kid ran over his buddy.
Stan Fischler is a delight, as you can see, and there are so many more stories to tell from Tales of Brooklyn and from his career, and we will tell them to you next week. So be with us then. Thank you.